Alright, this is multiplying by a percent. So what happens when you multiply by a percent? Well, one of the words we use for multiplication is of. If you put it after percent, it means to multiply it. And the reason is this. If you want 40% of something, that's exactly what you're going to get. That's what multiplication can be looked at as one of them. You have 2 times 3, it means you have 2 of these. You have 2 3s, which would be 3 plus 3, 2 of them. If you change it to an apple, well, you'd get 2 apples. That's what it means. So if you put a percent in front, you're going to get that portion of a whole. Percentages are portions of a whole if they're less than 100. If they're more than 100, you get, well, still a portion of a whole, but you're also going to get the whole as well. Okay, so if you have 40% of 100, you would literally come up here and go, okay, well, 40 is less than 50. We know 50 is half, so 40 would be right about there. And that's what 40% would look like. Alright, so just to test your understandings of what percentage is based on a whole, I want you to shade what 10% would look like and what 50% would look like. Hit pause now and try them. Okay, so you should have gotten something similar than this. We know 50 is a half, and 10% would be right there. Okay, and that's it. So if you want to find 40% of something, you multiply it. It'll tell you what portion of that whole it is. Well, we have a new whole here. This is 42. So if we want 25% of 42, we multiply it. So we take that little percentage and we convert it to a decimal, which gives us 0.25, and then we multiply that to our whole, which is the 42. Okay, so we go 0.25 times 42, 10.5. So if you were to draw a little picture of this, we have one giant whole, and we already know that 25% is right here, because that's 50. So this would be 10.5. Well, if you were to compare them all and make them all 10.5, you would notice you get 42. And that's all the percent does, is it gives you a portion of that entire whole. So I want you to try that for each of these. Just do one more. So to find 33% of something, you move the decimal over 2, which gives us 0.33. You multiply it to the whole, which is 35. And there you go, 11.55. So that means 33% of 35 is 11.55. And that's it. So I want you to try that for the rest of these. They have words in them now. Just these next 5, that's all I want you to do. So convert the decimal to percent and multiply it, and then tell me what that portion of the whole actually is. Hit pause now and give them a shot. Okay, and you should have gotten these values. And make sure all the units are dollars, because we're talking about dollars. The percent doesn't take away the units, it just gives us that portion. So 20% is a discount, which means we get an $80 discount. Just very, very important fact is to always keep the wording for the percent. So whatever the percent represents, make sure that what your answer is has that exact same wording. So if you want a 20% discount, you're going to get the amount of the discount. It's a 35% increase on salary, we get an increase on salary. If it's an 8.25 sales tax, then the answer would be the amount of sales tax, and so on. Commission, and then our interest per year. Okay, I should have put a dollar sign on there. 350, there we go. And that's it. That's all you have to do with percents. You multiply them, it tells you that portion. Okay, so a little bit trickier now. Show me 75% of the following. Well, how do you do that? Well, you can, if you know what 75% is, then you can just mark it. But if you don't, what you can do is take that percent and change it to a fraction like we did in the earlier video. And that's 3/4, which means if you take each of these, cut them into fourths, you're going to shade 3 out of every 4. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And that would be 75% of the 3. So how would you find the answer then? Well, we just put them together. We take 1, 2, 3, and we throw one more on. So we're going to do it again. But this time, we're going to count them. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the answer would be 2 1/4. But it didn't ask for the answer, we just wanted to show it. But we want a nicer picture. So 75% of 3 is 2 1/4. That's it. All right, what if you had 250% of this whole thing? Well, then you have to break it down. You need 100%, 100%, and 50%. And so you have to picture it this way. So we need to make 100%. That's 100%. Then we need another 100%. So exactly the same thing. And then we need 50%. Well, what is 50%? That's half. And so that is 250%. Right there. So the answer is 5 of them. Kind of good? All right. What if it says show me an increase of 25%? Well, an increase means that we're going to take the whole and we're going to increase it by 25. So if we take and cut this into 4 pieces, we know that 25% is the same as 1/4. So that would be right there. This is 25%. What we want is an increase of 25%. So we take the original picture and then we increase it by 25%. That would be an increase of 25%. And what if you said a decrease? Well, we already know that the same thing, that's 25%. So if we cut this into 4s, we're going to decrease it by 25. So that's gone. So we get 1, 2, 3. And these are the type of questions, the reason I'm covering these are the type of questions you're going to be asked when we get to actual word problems. And you have to think, if you see the word increase, we're adding whatever that percentage gives us. And if you see the word decrease, we're taking away whatever portion it gives us. And that's it. So you're going to get 75%, 250, increase of 25, decrease. These are the word problems we're going to run into later. So if you get stumped, come back and look at them.